Hello guys, and I'm Naval here. So welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the playlist of Power BI. So I request you to please watch the previous videos so that you can understand more about what is the Power BI flow and introduction of Power BI, Power Query, and then data modeling. And we are going to start about DAX now. So we are going to start about DAX. So DAX stands for Data Analysis Expression. So it is a set of library of functions and operators that can be used to build formulas or expressions in our Power BI. So it can be a Power BI, it can be the analysis services and the Power Pivot in Excel data models. So in this session, we're going to understand in a very simple language what is DAX and how to start with DAX, because this data analysis expression, I mean DAX, is one of the very important concept when it comes to Power BI. So you can learn Power Query easy way, you can learn visualization, but many folks get stuck when it comes to DAX. So in this session, you will understand in a very easy manner or in a layman's language, like what is DAX and how to get started with DAX. I hope you are excited to learn. So if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel, like the video and share it with your friends also. So let me show you the documentation of DAX. So just you can type DAX in Power BI. So you get this. This is the same definition which I have pulled out from the documentation. So DAX is a library of functions and operators that can be combined to build formulas and expressions in the Power BI or any analysis services, and also the Power Pivot in Excel data model. So we'll be taking a very simple steps like how to start with DAX, and then we'll go on to intermediate step and then go to the advanced. So it is very simple guys. So you can see here on the left side, here you have a DAX functions. So let us look what are the different functions here. So we have an aggregation functions, we have functions on date and time, filter function, financial function, information function, logical functions, math and trigonometry functions, some other functions, parent and child functions, relationship function, statistical functions, table manipulation, text functions, and time intelligence functions. Very important functions here in time intelligence. So if I want to see like what do you mean by aggregation? So like same like minimum, maximum, sum, count, all that can be covered in this. So if I click on the small arrow, so you can see an overview of the aggregation function. So these are all the functions available in DAX in the category of aggregation function. So you should know the names at least: average, count, max, min, sum, product. But if you look carefully, here we have average, average A, average X also. So we'll be seeing like what is mean by this X in our coming videos. When you open the date and time functions, so these are all the functions related to date and time category. So we have calendar, calendar auto, date, date difference, date value, day, e date, EO month, hour, minute, month, second, quarter, day, today, UTC now, UTC today, and so on. So you can just explore more things like what do you mean by calendar. You can click on that. You will get a definition out of that. You can see the syntax, how calendar is written and what does it return, and a simple example to understand about how DAX is used. So that this documentation is so beautiful that once you understand how to use DAX and like uh, once you start learning DAX, so this documentation is very important And these examples and this syntax plays a very important role. So these are all, like you can just open it and check what is there in the filter functions category. These are all the functions. Financial, I request you to please go through all this. If you want, I'll just give you the link. So actually, I'm not directly starting with DAX on a Power BI desktop. So like my teaching is completely different. I want to start with Excel. Now you might be wondering, like, we are into Power BI desktop, we are starting DAX, but why I'm going back to the Excel? I will explain you some part in Excel, and at the same time I'll be doing those all in DAX. So you will relate how we perform calculation in Excel same as Power BI DAX. It is, to be very honest, it is not same, but we are going to relate that so that you can easily understand how DAX is performed. So this is the best technique, what I personally feel. So once we start, you also feel the same. I hope you are ready with it. Okay, shall we start? Okay, then let us go back like to Excel, do some rough calculations there, and relate that in a DAX. Let me open AdventureWorks dataset, which I have already given you the link. So the same dataset I have been published it into my Power BI desktop. You can see here same. So before going with the Excel, I would like to show you few things on Power BI desktop. So when it comes to DAX or some calculations, so you can do that in data view. You can see the calculations tab here or the ribbon here inside the table tools. We have actually four types of calculations we can perform in DAX. One is quick measure, new measure, quick measure, new column, and new table. So for at least 10 minutes, we will keep this quick measure and new table aside. So we will be focusing more on new measure and new column. So what do you mean by new measure and what do you mean by new column and when to use? We're going to see that first, and then we'll deep dive into that. So once again, you can go to data view and see the calculations. There are four types: new measure, new column, quick measure, and new table. Okay, so as the name itself suggests, when you're talking about new table, so you will get a new table here. So you get a new table here, new table. So when I'm calling about new column, you get a new column. So what is new measure? We are going to discuss that. Okay, or you can access these all by just right clicking, or you can click on more options. Here you get three options like new measure, that is exactly same like what I have shown you, new column or quick measure. So let us talk first more detail about what do you mean by new measure and new column. Then we'll deep dive into quick measure and new table. So for that, I would like to explain you giving some example on Excel. Then we'll come back on this. So let me open AdventureWorks sales in my Excel. So there is a sales table also. So actually there is huge data here, like 1 lakh rows are there. So what I'll do, I'll just copy some of the rows, like 10, 15, 100 rows. I'll copy it, not 100. Let me take 20, 10, 15, not more than that. So you will understand it clearly. So let me copy this. I'll take a new Excel, guys, so that I'll not manipulate, I'll not disturb my existing AdventureWorks sales data. Okay, so let me copy it here. So a few records only, just to show you the sample. So let me close this. Now I will focus on this. So you can see here, guys, we have quantity. So this is a fact table. This is a quantity column. This is a unit price column, and this is your total product cost. and this is your sales amount. So by default, we have all order quantities as one. So if we take, let us manipulate something like this. Suppose we have 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. Okay, just and imagine, because there in order sales table we have more quantities also, because we have fetched only first few records. So it is showing all only one. Now try to understand what is the difference between new column and new measure first, and then we'll go deep dive into new measure. Now a simple question to all. Suppose I want to calculate, okay, so this is a total product cost for one order or for one product. So that is for one order or one order quantity, it is 413.14. Suppose if there are two products, so it would be definitely 413.14 into 2. If it is 3 into 3, if it is 4 into 4, if it is 5 into 5, and so on. But I do not have a like a total product cost as per the order quantity. Suppose if I want that like total product cost, then can you guess what would be the formula in Excel? Pause 1 or 2 minutes and think. So very simple, just put a equal to sign, then you put a product, total product cost, that is your N2, then you multiply it, like I'll take a multiplication, then take a total order quantity and just click it. So this is 1. If I drag it, I get 2, 2 multiplied by, if I drag it and so on, or you can just double click it, it will automatically go. So this is all your total product cost as per order. Okay, just so this is exactly what is your new column. So we get a new column and we are writing a formula bar. Similarly, you will get the same formula bar in a new column in DAX. So let me go to DAX and explain you. Okay. So I'm in the Power BI desktop now. Let me go to data view. Let me go to the sales table, and here you have a unit price. So unit price. Now we can see that our unit price with order quantity, you can see that the unit price is also for one product. You can click on this and verify how many products you have. You can see you have more products. Now if I want to multiply the order quantity with the unit price, so you should get a new column for that, a new column. So to get a new column, we have a calculation here, one of the type of DAX. So when I click on new column, you get a new column introduced here at the end of the sales table. Yeah, you can see here, new column. Now it is asking me, what do you want in that new column? So as we have done in Excel, like we have clicked, you can just see in Excel, we have, while writing this formula, we have clicked on this cell and we have clicked on this cell, but that is not possible in Excel. That is not possible in Power BI. We cannot click here. Rather than that, we have to specify the name. So what we want to multiply. Okay, so I'll write total uh, total unit price. Okay, I'll give a new name and I'll say that, okay, order quantity, I want to get, or I want to multiply the order quantity. So I'll start writing order. Once I write it, so Power BI is smartly showing some intelligence. So this is called as intelligent. It will show you some suggestion. Okay, are you searching for the column name called order quantity, which is from the sales table? Yes, exactly, I'm searching for the same. So sales table, in that I'm searching for order quantity. I want to multiply it with, what you want to multiply? I want to multiply with the unit price. Okay, write unit price. Once you start writing it, no need to learn the syntax, like first table name is written, then the column name it is written in the bracket. No need to learn that. So it will show you the intelligence. So you can just click on this And now you can say that, okay, sales table orders column multiplied by sales table unit price. I want to multiply unit price with the order quantity. That's it. Just click on enter. So you get a new column and it will be calculating like all 1,21,253 rows, and this is your result. So 1 into this, 2 into this, obviously 4,000, and so on. So this total unit price, which is a new column, you can see it somewhere like this. So this symbol shows you that you have used new column. I hope you understood when to use a new column. So if you want to derive something from this, then we go to a new column. Then now the question comes, then when to use a new measure. So let me go back to my Excel and to explain you when to use a new measure. Now, if I ask you, what is my total product cost as per order? So in Excel, if I select all this, it is automatically showing me the sum here. It is showing me the sum here. But I want that sum somewhere here. So just think how to write a formula to get a sum of all this. Yes? Anyone? Okay. So it is very simple. You can just put a equal to sign, put a sum, open a bracket, select all this cell and just press enter. You can see it. So very simple. You can do similar to what we have done in Excel. We can do that in DAX also. Yeah, so let us do the same when in DAX. So if you just scroll down, and if you scroll down, here it is showing you like all the values like this. And here we do not have any empty cell so that we can put or double click here and start writing a formula. We cannot do that. So to do that, or to get a single value like this, a single value, so then we choose taking a new measure. At that time, we take a new measure. So to get a new measure, you get like go to the table tools, you get a new measure option here, or you go to report view. You can click on any of this table. You can click on this and you get a new measure option. So let me go to data view and show you. So if I click on this option and if I click on new measure, so you'll get a formula bar. Then you start writing a formula. So the formula will be same as that of we have used in Excel just now, that is equal to sum. So let me write total sales amount. Okay, I want to like run all the summation of this total sales amount. So for that formula is sum, you can see sum of, so it is asking me which column you want. Okay, I want the sales amount. So let me put a sales amount, sales, just a minute, sales amount, but it is showing you all the columns which are present in the sales table. Yeah, I want the sales amount which is inside the sales table, and let me close this. Now you just press a enter. Now you can see the magic. So here inside the data view, you do not find any column called total sales amount because we did not derive a new column. We have just used a new measure. So you can just see the symbol of new measure and a new column. So this is your new derived column. This is your new measure. So you can just remember this measure as a single value, as a scalar value, as a single cell. So if I go to a report view and take a value of total sales here, just tick it. So it will be in a column chart, but you can just put a card chart here and see. So this is your total sales on that column. Now you might wonder like, If I take a total sales also, if I take a sales amount column, you can see sales amount column, and if I put that in a canvas, if I convert the card, you get a same value. Now you might be thinking like we get a same value, but why we are creating a measure again? So we have created this total sales amount because we wanted to sum up all the rows. But what Power BI is giving us a feature, like when you take a summation, it will give you all the aggregations out of this. So if you click on the small arrow, you can see that you can take an average of that sales amount. You can see average. You can take a minimum value of that. You can take a maximum value of that. By default, it is showing you the sum. So when we are going for further calculations, like in future we go with further calculations, there we need this sales amount always. So rather than taking sum of sales amount always, we calculate a measure and keep it. So we can use that later on. So the important thing is when it comes to DAX, for a beginner, it is always important to choose a correct feature, like whether to go for a new column or a new measure. Now just imagine you have a you have derived a new column. So just imagine how much size of this column would increase, because this column will have more than like 1,21,000 records, and it is creating your data size a bulkier one, or the size of the data set will be more when you take a new column or a derived column. Just imagine if I keep on adding a new column, new column, new column, you can see how much big your file would be. So when you are doing a calculation, it is always recommended to choose between a new column and a new measure. So first try to solve that with a new measure. If you can do it with new measure, go with new measure. Otherwise, if there is no other option, then you go with the new column. I hope you got a clear understanding between what is new measure and new column.